Good evening. The question, the $1,000,000 question. Do you believe in the only one soulmate for all your life? I'm being asked as a life coach this question like nearly every time. Whatever I do retreats, whatever I do life coaching, whatever I do, coachings in the groups or one-on-one, people always say, I thought that's it. That's what I met. I thought that's it. I'm happy and done, How are you, beautiful? And every time people wondering, is this the one? And when they meeting the one person, the one, they think that's about it. That's it. I'm done. After all this looking for the perfect person, now I'm done. I met my soulmate. But I'm always asking, Neely, another question comes up for me. Who told us what only one soulmate we deserve to have through all our, 100 years living? Because normally now, if the person really living good and keeping well, they're actually living nearly 100 years. But I know about 20 years we could be being kids and then whatever. But is this for so long time we only supposed to have only one soulmate? So do you believe in that? If you do, say yes. If you not, say no. Because I think we all having different beliefs. And like I was saying already, I always have other question rising up for me. Who told you that? And that's what I always kind of wonder. I want to know more. Thank you. I always want to know more about, questioning more. Where does this come from? Who told you? Why we believe in this? Is this religion kind of stuff? What we teach when you married? When God put us together, no man should separate us, yeah? Only death will separate us. And all that kind of stuff, what is putting in our head the religion. So if I may ask you again, where did you hear that? If it's religion, let's let's say plus, if it's religion, or maybe just a prayer, if you can put. If this came with the religion in your memory and beliefs, for me would be probably when I decide to get married, I was brought to the church really without knowing much about it, about this, what I will have to be married for all my life, only for this man, only this one. And I remember the church man was asking me, because you have to do these classes before the church, before they get married, and kind of believing in that moment, I love him and he loves me. Why should I think about someone else in the future? But then time go by, but actually something in my heart was saying, what? No, no, I don't believe, because something in my mind was saying what that's kind of looks like a long time. It's not like, oh my God, I want to try something else. No, I wouldn't get married. But something freaked me out when I hear that, but that's it. That's the only one. And that's the one. Because, in the deep in my mind, I think I have a little doubt. I think. I know I was a little bit pushed into the marriage than I really wanted. And we got married in winter. And it was minus 20 something. Very, very cold. I was not pregnant. And the church was frozen. Everything was freezing. Yeah, only pictures was beautiful because I looked like a snow queen with a big furry jacket. And it was fab. but we could have that in summer. It would be the same, more fab. But I don't know. I was wondering, about my own marriage. And anyway, then time go by and I did not stay with the man. Just after 2 years, 3 years, we break up. I filed for divorce. Thank you. That's very interesting. I came from experiencing a soulmate and feeling the emptiness when they left. And I wouldn't made a soul connection like it sounds. Yes, that's very, very, very special. Thank you so much for sharing. And that's exactly what I wanted to say. When I broke up, then after some time, of course, I was empty. I felt empty. I felt my heart like I was betrayed, and of course in pain. And of course, yeah, it was a lot of happening in my own heart. But then I met somebody else, and then that person knew what I already was married in the church. And he was saying, I need to get a divorce, but you would get a divorce. And only the Rome could divorce you if the man or woman is mentally wrong, or you was made to get married. Like if you can prove that. Like alcoholism is not illness, like illness, but because it could be fixed, it could be healed, and you can keep going and living together for more and more years. And actually, I would not was happy, but I was not really was pushed to get married with another person to the church and with another person with, I felt okay by the God. I probably, it was so confusing. What I actually felt, how many more soulmates will be, and what is the soulmate? Because soulmate, and that's, thank you so much for sharing, it's like when you feel this, what they refills you, it's like half of you. But then this question rises, where's your another half was before? Like, are you was walking all your life just a half till you meet that another person who refills your half? That kind of question was always rising in my mind. And I was like, no, like, it can't be what we're walking around, like our soul flying around with one wing only, or like angel. You can't see angel with one wing only. Or we can't see dog with only two legs till they not meet another dog. Or we can't see the person who walks only with one leg because another person have your leg. It's like, I feel we're looking for someone to refill that emptiness, what we don't having. That's mean that love, what we don't having really for ourselves. And the soulmate is like, it's so easy with the person. Like, now I know what I wanted and I attracted, and that's exactly what I wanted. And now it's my man in my life, and he's so like wonderful, and he's there for me and all that. And I know I was living before, but it feels like soulmate. It's the person who's actually being with you on that moment when it's needed. But really, we already have everything in our heart, in our soul. Our soul is completely full without another person to refill us, really. It's just, of course, it's a lot more nicer. It's a lot of, but every soul comes in our life with the mission to teach us something, to give us something, to give us kids, to give us, another lessons, to give us amazing experience in the life. and beautiful lessons. And then when they done this contract, when they done this job, for them, it's time to move on. That's mean move on or into different dimensions or to other person to teach them, and maybe the lesson is was already learned with that person, so they have a contract to move on to another one. We are like a soldiers, like a students. We go through life, we meet, we learn, grow together, and then we separate. And it is kind of hard. I know many people who's actually together for all life because they believe the religion and all that, and they don't want to get divorced, and that's okay. But they're so miserable together. They are so unhappy together. And they're not learning of each other, nothing anymore. Like nothing. They're actually growing in this miserable people and not happy with each other. And then kids watching this, and then they're watching this unhappy life in the house. And they know, and they say, oh, we're staying for kids. Well, I'm sorry, your kids watching terrible example of happy marriage. And it's all this kind of comes up in that point where it's like they finish their own like a lesson. They should really love each other and let it go, because it's another person waiting to give another lesson. And it's not really they refilling something for us. It's just they teaching us something. And that could be so many amazing things. Like my man really teach me to take it from another person. I would normally was so much just give, give, give. And when I started getting it, I was like, what should I do? Like I felt like nobody was giving my life barely nothing. I done everything myself. And all this time when I was starting receiving, I didn't know what to do with this. I felt nearly, oh my God, it's enough. It's too much. It's like, oh my God, like, I love you and that's fine. It's okay. Like, just take it, like flowers nearly every day. I'm like, oh my God, stop. Enough. Why do we saying it's enough? Because then we feeling like we owning. And that's what it's kind of many, many things, what comes through our life, what we learn. And we got this not serving beliefs. It's another person in there waiting for us when we finish this class. It's like another teacher. It's like we kids going in one class, and then we finish that class, we're going to another class, and we start growing like that. But if we stuck in one place and just say, no, that's it. I had one, that's it. I'm here. So you will be staying in that first class or whatever class you reach together, and you're not growing anymore. As another person would be so beautifully happy to teach you something else, to teach you more of your soul to grow. And yes, I do understand sometimes like it feels very, very empty. But we need to refill that with our own love for ourselves. And that's where we sometimes forgetting about ourselves, and we seeking for another person to give that. It's like, I want to eat, but I will not eat till I not find someone who will feed me, because I just waiting for that person to refill me. But that refillment, it would be just at this moment till that person would be next to me. But if I learn how to eat it myself, then I would be full and I not will be needy. I will be always happy. And that's how many times we, as single women or men, always looking for someone to give it everything for us what we don't have. What about if we refill that empty space with the love for ourselves first, treating ourselves wonderfully, and saying, you know what? I don't have any more that empty space, but I have a lot to give and be with another person. So for the person next to come, it's no pressure to be this person who will refill that place, because it's like nearly the pressure for the person who coming in our life. Oh, you better be that person who will be doing that and this and that, because I was waiting for you so long. And I was laughing with my man. I said, where the hell did you stuck for 2 years and a half? That was a bit too long for waiting. But I know it was funny, but actually wasn't, because yes, felt like a long time, but that's what we need sometimes. We need sometimes to become the person who is really understanding and appreciating the love. And when you get that love, it's just like when you're waiting for the fruit to really come into the time where it's just ready to be bited and juicy comes out and it's all beautiful and tasty. And that's what we need to wait. And sometimes if it's so much pain in our heart, it's no space for love. So it's always good to calm down and give yourself that space for love. So that's mean come back to yourself, come back to your heart, starting loving yourself, and feel more and more refilling that empty place after we lost someone, or if they gone, if they left, or if they, whatever it happened. But it's always good to feel that love in your heart first. So it's no pressure for the person who comes, because I remember when I was single, I remember I was like doing all job, write it down what I want, and he came. Oh my God, he was amazing. Everything was wonderful, but I forgot to write it down something else. But actually, I felt that's it, it's done. And I actually feeling from me, what I actually saying, you better be the one, okay? Like in my mind, and I'm nearly like putting him that pressure about him knowing, but I think he kind of starting feeling it, like, like, I don't want to waste time in here if you're not the right one, because more we're getting a little bit later in age and life, we don't have as much time, and we're giving that pressure to the person, like, hurry up, I need to make sure, are you the one, are you that? And that's what I felt when I was in that just before my man relationship. And now I feel actually so much at ease. Before I actually met him, I said, if he is the one, I will know. And I did. Me and him, we knew just 5 minutes after in the daytime, and just really came everything easy. And I think that's where it feels that the person, it's the soulmate. It's like your souls dancing in the rain, But at the same time, your soul always happy to be with you and learning the lessons, what you need sometimes to be on your own, come back to yourself, and to fall in love with yourself again. Because sometimes we giving so much to others as we forgetting about ourselves. So I would suggest nearly to find love to your own soul mate, like your own soul. Become full of love for yourself, with yourself. Find yourself again. Because I noticed when I was in relationship, you kind of a little bit losing yourself. You're becoming that person what other person wants you to be. And you do want it to please and all that. As now, I already knew who I am. I already knew what I want. So it was very easy for me to keep going and be happy, because it's no pressure on any side and either side. So I'm wishing you the best you can. Don't get frozen. But at the same time, enjoy what you have in your life, with or without. Christmas is coming, time is holiday coming. But at the same time, summer, winter solstice coming, and magical time is coming. Every day is a magical time, but actually on the Wednesday, on the 21st, we will have another magical time. So if somebody did not register yet, do register in the link in my in the link below. I think I didn't put it yet in here, but I will do that later. So I'm wishing you the best evening, best night, best weekend. And well done, Antoinette, voting your numbers. Exactly. Exactly. Voting your numbers, voting your numbers. And that's exactly what we need to do. Vote your numbers, because that's it. Monday, I will reveal who won, or maybe not. So make sure you are voting your numbers from 1 till 40, and you can do 4 times a neat video. So thank you so much, and I'm sending you loads of love, because every time when you saying, I believe in love again, love comes just a little bit nearer, just a little bit nearer, just a little bit nearer to you. So just believe in love. It's cost nothing. Talk to you on Monday. Loads of love. Mwah.